Alright there, Gary, I just want to make a quick response to your video. I'm actually at Michael Wood's services on the M5. I'm just on my way home, but I thought I'd just stop in here. It's very windy, so I'm in a phone box. But just one little bit I want to pick up on, which is this story you introduce us to as a possible explanation for altruistic behaviour. And you give this little narrative. You imagine yourself going out and killing some 5-year-old kid, and then later in life, presumably after you've done time and you've repaid your debt to society and all that kind of stuff in an official way, you have the opportunity to save another 5-year-old kid from a burning building. And so of course you do. You go in there, you save the 5-year-old kid, and what you're kind of saying there is that you're driven to do that, and you're the feelings of altruism, which both power it and reward you at the end of that, are, well, they kind of come out of a kind of economics, a redemption economics. You feel redeemed by that in some way, maybe on some unconscious psychological level, let's say, but somehow you come out of that process and you're redeemed, because the sin that you committed earlier in your life has been repaid. I suppose all I'd say in relation to that is that I don't think we really need to look to our own sins to power that kind of a narrative. I'm not suggesting it's necessarily correct, but I'm just saying that if there was a kind of economics of redemption, then we wouldn't need to look for sins that we ourselves have committed in order to be able to feel that we have something to repay. What I was kind of harking on in an earlier video, when I was talking about us all being born astride a grave, what I was saying in that one is that the one thing we've all got in common, all of us who are alive today, you and me and everybody else, is that our ancestors didn't die before they gave birth to children. That's right back to the beginning of time. All of our ancestors stayed alive long enough to give birth, to be a parent of some kind, which means that all of our ancestors, every single one of them, was not killed. No one, when they were a kid, no one went up to our kids and to our ancestors when they were kids and killed them. We can be sure of that, because if they had, we wouldn't be here. But the corollary of that is that a lot of those ancestors that we've got, a lot of our ancestors, will have actually gone out and killed somebody else's kid. They will have done that. Most of our ancestors, many of our ancestors, maybe not most, but a heck of a lot of our ancestors, in order to survive, in order to be ancestors themselves, in order to bring up young, to raise that young, to feed that young, they would have had to go out and kill somebody else's kid. That's what they would have done. Or they would have killed somebody else, somebody else's kid's relative. So they would have killed somebody's father or somebody's mother. They would have killed somebody else. And if they hadn't killed the kid, or they hadn't killed the kid's relatives or parents, then they would have killed some cousin, some other animal with a marginally different genome. They would have gone out and killed that instead. And if they hadn't done any of those things, then you can bet that when their kids were being attacked, when some other cousin with some other slightly different genome was swarming down on them and killing everything they saw, you can bet that our ancestors protected their kids in favour of protecting somebody else's kids. Because if they hadn't done that, we wouldn't be here now talking about it. So we're only here because for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, our ancestors killed other people's kids and protected their own kids at other people's expense. We have that debt. We undoubtedly do. And that's the history that we all share. So I don't think we need to look to our sins, our own sins. I think there's an original sin, which runs way back. I know it sounds a bit biblical, but I think there is a sense in which we are all inheritors of that original sin. We do all have one of those little devils on our shoulder that you talk about there, Gary. There is a beast, undoubtedly, lurking in that dark night of our evolutionary soul, so to speak. And it's good that we should remember that. That devil should be on our shoulder. He should be poking us with that pitchfork every now and then, just to remind us that the beast that we were for that long, and that beast that went out and killed all those people just so we could be alive, is still around. At least reminds of our presence, to propel us into burning houses to save somebody else's kid, to maybe make us think twice about killing this other animal that's got marginally different genome, and we regard as a food source just because it happens to be called a cow rather than a human being. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that makes some kind of sense. But I really appreciated your video response there, Gary. I thought it was very astute and poetic. So thanks for that.